Hi, guys. My name is Matthew Preston, and today, welcome to the Limitless podcast. Joining us, as always, is our co-host Thaon Simms. Hail out the people, Thaon.
Hey guys, what's good?
And today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're trying a new thing. We're calling this for now, $100 million portfolios. Essentially, each of us, we're going to be, give ourselves $100 million in cash, and then we're going to look on the JSE and say, okay, which stocks would we buy as if we had the $100 million $100 million, and we're going to buy actually from the queue. So it's like, these are units that if you had that amount of money, you actually could buy. So, yeah. How are you feeling about this one, Thaon?
You're going to be doing it like that. I feel like we should also give the people a chance to be fund managers as well, because that is, I think, well, at least for us, it's one of our goals one day to become fund managers. But we should also run a little thing where if anybody else wants to build their own $100 million portfolio, maybe compete with us. They should. And so, guys, let us know in the comments below, what stocks would you put in your $100 million portfolio? And this has to be stocks just on the JSE, right? We're not hearing a Tesla or nothing like that. Just stocks on the JSE. But
I'm thinking that we could probably we can probably work on something where they could like submit it in like a link or something, and we could maybe even show it on another episode if I forget to edit it in. You guys can drop a comment below because I may forget.
Yeah, still want your comments though. Tell us which stocks you like and so on. That would go in this. But yeah, I know this is an episode we've been brainstorming from maybe last year, end of last year. So or early this year. So I'm curious to see how it goes. Let's jump into it.
Yeah. So basically, we're gonna use the platform My Money JA. I'm gonna share my screen. You get a discount code. Use code Limitless. We'll put a link in the description. So let me know if you see my screen. Yeah, you should be seeing it now. Yeah. So let me see if I remember how to do this. So you can add a cash balance. I'm gonna add credit, JMD. Oh, you can add US too. Let me see. Why is it a little buggy? Oh, it was bugging a bit.
So I guess we're starting with $100.
Yeah, it would seem so. Sorry, so yeah, 100 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Deposit, transaction date, we're recording this is right, the 23rd of March. It's the 23rd, wow. Yeah, so so this is my funds in, save and close. So yeah, $100 million reach out. Yeah, so let's go. So the first stock I am gonna pick, let's see, mention which. So yeah, first stock. So let's sort by equities. I think the first stock I would buy would be, let's see.
It would probably be a stock that maybe we've done our tickers on.
Yeah, I think we've done tickers on a lot of the ones I'm thinking about still.
Yeah, because those are just companies we like. A lot of them are. Hey, why not pick Learn?
I mean,
Learn would be my $100 million portfolio. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well,
like there has to be a part of your portfolio that's like a cash pot, and you wouldn't need a lot.
Get much to Learn though. Well, from
and
the
that's
queue,
okay.
Just like right now.
I wouldn't want to allocate a large amount of the portfolio.
No, you actually can. I mean, you'd be buying it to $2.23.
Definitely not. I wouldn't be buying it up that high. But how much would trip the breakout? Oh, not much at all.
Yeah, 200,000. For me, it wouldn't be Learn unless I'm like, say there was someone who wanted to sell. Hold on. What I'm saying is that okay, it's at 30 cents now. I'd buy it at 10 cents if I got it at 10 cents now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'd buy it at 10 cents.
I'd even buy it at 30 cents.
I'm the only one that gets to buy it at 10 cents too.
You can't control that though. Here's the thing. So I like companies, and this is one thing we said in our beginner how to invest in a stock. You have to meet companies that nobody's really talking about. Companies that have a lot of negative perception and so on, because that could be their all-time low. I've been looking at Learn recently just to see, are they going to do anything spectacular in the near term? Because if it's at 29 cents now, it going to 60 cents, you made 100% on your money. So I'm just saying, like, it's a company that I would think about. Yeah, you know, kind of. It's one of those things that I'd be looking at just to say, all right, keep them in the back of my mind because they may be at an all-time low. It could be worse. But if it's the $100 million portfolio, I wouldn't even put $1 million in it. I wouldn't put even 1%. But the upside potential for the upside is real. So it's just a thought. I wouldn't put it in first though.
I do think it could be the bottom now though, you know, because there was something that I saw recently where it's like a
as
concept of
as in news around the company itself.
No. So it was like someone tweeted that, what was it like? They said, "Oh, yo, I can't bother with Learn anymore. I'm finally gonna like realize this loss." And it was like they tweeted it at like 30 cents, and that's kind of when you start to have people thinking like that, and it's almost like that's a sign that it could be the bottom. I'd say when you have someone who's literally seen something go from $4 down, as you said, to 29 cents, it's like they've sat, or well, I guess you don't know what price they bought at, but like they start at $3, maybe then it starts to drop into $2, it starts to drop into $1, it starts to drop into 50 cents, and they just watched it, and now it's been at this point, it's kind of been settling there. Like people, I mean, it was realist. Got damn, why did you make this into a Learn episode? It's not
a Learn episode. It's just, for me, when I start to think about like being a fund manager, I feel like there's just levels of risk that you have to pay attention to, and also the level of reward, because you have people you're answering to. I'm assuming this $100 million isn't our money. It's our it's, you know, the shareholders in the fund, you guys that are watching the episode, theoretically speaking, that have given us $100 million that we have to invest it. So we have to be weighing all our options. I feel like some of our shareholders would be disappointed if we didn't mention stocks like these, stocks with tremendous upside. So, you know, we just have to do, you know, we're doing our due diligence, and we, you know, weighing the pros and cons and such. But no, it's not a Learn episode, but it's just an episode on I guess risk management, but not just that. It's also, look at the potential upside, right? Like if you're talking about, and what's the timeline? Because we didn't set out a goal for the 100 mil, and we don't have a particular timeline in mind. So with something like that, I wouldn't mind holding on to something a bit riskier. It's just that it has to be an extremely small portion of the fund itself. Yes, because if it's 200,000, 200,000 is what? 0.2% of the entire portfolio. Yeah, I mean, you know. But just an option, just a thought. We can move on to the real stock.
Yeah, I'm still trying to
not necessarily the real stocks, but the stocks that make up the bulk of the portfolio. This Learn, you know. Hey, one day Learn is going to make us all a bag of money. I feel it, I see it. So let's see.
Yeah. So my first one would be GraceKennedy. GraceKennedy. So, you know, I'm sure we did a Tickers episode on Grace. We've spoken about, you know, some of the things that has happened. I mean, we know that they have their big 2030 vision. They've been talking about it since 2020, maybe 2021 or so, about how they essentially, was it like double, or they want to almost like double or triple their profits. And then they want to make a lot more money outside of the US. They want to cross list
outside of Jamaica.
They want to list on I think is you mentioned International Stock Exchange.
70% of the revenues outside of Jamaica.
Well, I should probably just
list on an international. Yeah, we should probably pull it up. List on an international stock exchange. They said they would split the company basically.
So there's a lot of things that I think the market. I'm showing it on the screen now. Yeah, this came out May. This is the first time it came out, May 2022. They say, they want to make 250 million in profit before tax. I think when I've done the math.
Yes.
But if you watch the full episode, I think I had it pulled up. It was like at least double or triple their profits or something like that, right? And I'm thinking things like this are going to be huge for them. And it's 2025. You can get volumes from the queue. Management also, Grace has done share buybacks before, so it's like if you're making like bigger money, it's like, hey, suppose you want to be able to like sell maybe throughout the year, having things like a share buyback in place. Like even though the share buyback, the last one I did finished, how much was it? They ended up. Remember how
Buying
much
back
they ended up
totally.
buying? Yeah.
Not completely. But to me, that just tells me that the company cares about, shareholder value, the stock price itself, if you're doing a whole share buyback program. Like those
Yeah.
things
And
tell me,
then,
say,
yeah.
the company has realized, okay, we're doing better. The company is great and the stock price has fallen. So let's just buy it back when it's cheap. To me, it's just like, wow, yeah, you care about the stock price. You actually have, you care about us as shareholders
Skin in
as
the
well.
game.
Skin in the game. Yeah.
Skin in the game.
That's what you
Yeah, I
want to
think I
see.
found it. So I think it was So they were planning to buy just under 10 million shares, and then 10 million shares of Grace. Grace is like $70. That's 70 mil Jamaican. And then they bought back 6.4, so about 64%, I guess, of what they could have bought back over a year. But so yeah, that's one of the reasons I was thinking about that was like, okay, if I need to be able to sell, I have something like a buyback possibly giving me like some exit if I want to sell like piece to cover something. The spin-off, splitting the business, things like that I think are going to send the share price flying. The fact that they'd probably be the first, would they be the first Jamaican company to list on a, like say the US or the list equity on that the US or say the UK, one of the UK markets, stock markets?
I believe so. Because I remember one
Yeah.
time NCB was looking at doing something like that. I think this
Mm.
was 2020 or 2019. They
Mm.
were looking to do, a list maybe on the NASDAQ or so on. And, well, COVID happened. And
Mm-hmm.
NCB share price has tanked since. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, looking at Grace now. Yeah, I mean, if they actually follow through, they have 5 more years till the 2030
Mm-hmm.
timeline. So,
Yeah, but you can't wait to 2029.
exactly. You don't do the thing that you wanted to do by 2030 and say, all right, it's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
in 2030. Nah, you have
Mm-hmm.
to plan that from way before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. And then I feel like, especially even, what if there's a way where you can transfer your shares to the US market and then sell on the US market? Like, what if there's things like arbitrage, the amount of
Yeah.
liquidity that could be opening up if depending on how it's structured? Like, it's something that if I so the reason let me see how much I can get of
When you also think
Grace.
about it too, there are a lot of if it listing on even something like the Nasdaq. We have
Mm-hmm.
a huge Jamaican community in America, so I'm pretty sure they'd want to be able to invest in something like this as well. So as you say, it opens up a ton of liquidity for the company. And when you start to think about things like arbitrage as well, those other opportunities to make more money based on the price difference in the two markets,
Mm-hmm.
it's a real thing.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the queue. I see I can get 10 mil at what price is this? It's 8.59. So yeah, I'm gonna record this. So this should take out of my cash balance and deduct from my existing balance. Yeah. And yeah, I bought
So
some.
that's 10%, a little bit above 10% of your entire portfolio.
Yes. So it should work now. So yeah, see it's showing it so far because I bought up. I mean, it was selling at 72. I had to buy above the market price. So yeah, I have 10 million in Grace. I'm down 7%. GK also pays regular dividends, and even something like this. I mean, the dividends I don't think are really that much.
Dividends now at this stage definitely matter though. When you start to med
that
set, like,
calculation.
yeah, because now you have units. And when you have units, you have dividend. The prospect of having dividends just makes so much sense. Which I think leads me to the next stock.
Wait.
should have.
Wait, I was gonna do mine first, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, because
you know,
I
say
didn't what I wanted. I didn't want to like
But you're gonna
I
buy
wanted to
from
see
the
what.
queue.
Yeah,
That's the problem though, because
yeah, but
Transjam offer just done. So if it were me, I'd be buying in that Transjam offer and putting
yeah,
that in the
but
portfolio same way.
yeah. So what you're gonna? I didn't want to work it like that. I was like,
Well,
I will try and make it as. Yeah, because it's like, okay, if you're doing it right now, okay, the offer just closed, you've missed something. Yeah, you missed something that's good, depending like on your goal or whatever. But okay, it's gone, so you just have to find something else.
facts. Okay, fair.
Yeah. Yep.
I wasn't gonna do it like you're doing it though, you know, in terms of buying from the queue. Remember, my one was more theoretical because if I do have $100 million, I'm not buying on the market. I'm pulling up that top 10
You mean
shareholder list.
you're
That
not
top
buying from the
100.
queue. Okay. Yeah.
Nah, I'm
You're
finding
still buying
top
from the
10.
market.
I'm buying
Market is
from the
just the people,
market.
but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I wouldn't have to worry about the things that you're worrying about, you know, oh, you're down 7% and so on. Because I'm buying at a lower price and I'm getting those block trades in. So it's a bit different when you're a fund because funds don't necessarily buy from the market. Like you don't always see them buy from the market. Like they'll probably put up the top 100 shareholder list and probably go through. Oh, Mr. Preston at number 11 has 10 million units of GK. All right, I'm going to go to him and buy that 10 million units of GK. Right? That's kind of how I see them do it. But yeah, let's continue with let's continue with the portfolio still because this is actually going to be a long episode.
Yeah, so the next one would actually be SVL or Supreme Ventures. Yeah, so are you shocked at that one?
No, it wasn't in my list, but it was in my list of things that I would be buying or would look at buying because of how low they've dropped recently.
Could drop
and
low.
The opportunity. Yeah, it could drop low, but the opportunities themselves for SVL, not just in Jamaica, but even in Africa and so on, I think the things they're doing right now can set them up. In Ghana specifically, yeah. Ghana. Yeah. So I see why you like SVL and SVL. So SVL is people know it as a gambling company, right? I mentioned the cash pot portfolio hilariously, but SVL is not a cash pot portfolio. SVL is they do generate a lot of cash, which is also why I kind of like them. They do pay dividends from what I remember too. We should be calculating the dividend yield on some of these things, you know.
So the yield at 1890, which is the current market price, is 2024 they paid 3 dividends. It totaled to it doesn't hover 3.3%.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, how much SVL are you buying?
Hold on, am I doing the?
Because what we can do is if they keep the same dividend payouts, can calculate how much money you'd have made from the dividends based on how many shares you own.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So in the queue of SVL, tomorrow I could say, hey, I'll buy.
Just feel like Jeopardy.
I'll buy 15. I'll buy 15 mil of SVL. And I'm buying it to 22.46.
Okay.
And I break even at 22.88 with the broker fees. Okay. So deduct from existing balance, and it should now reflect in the portfolio. Okay, I think I bought more of that than GK. Well, I guess it's because
you bought a little bit more.
I would have bought more GK though. It's just
price.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want your average price to be too high.
Yeah. I guess
what you could do is you could leave a nice little order in the queue, but I know you just want to be just for this episode. We're just buying straight out of the queue, like what's available right now.
Yeah. So next up, so I have GK
Hold
SVL
on.
so far.
We're not done. Why are you buying SVL?
Oh wow, yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of the similar stuff you said. So if you look at the SVL, I think they've hit somewhat of a ceiling before they started expanding outside of Jamaica, because they essentially run, gambling in Jamaica. I think they had like some other smaller players, and then there's like the illegal markets. But SVL is literally like probably 95% or something of the market. And if you look at us, like for example, our population is really growing very rapidly. It's basically kind of stagnated. If you already have the high penetration that they have of gambling, then it's like, unless you can get the people to spend more, or you can either get people to spend more, or appeal to like more people. I guess I feel like they've hit somewhat of a limit. I feel like they'll, depending on things like regulations and stuff like that, there'll be a limit somewhat, like, okay, this percentage of people generally will gamble. Sometimes it may increase, decrease, but I think they've kind of capped out in Jamaica. I think there'll over time be like more efficiencies, but probably like revenue growth wise, it's probably somewhat capped out. And then if you look at, for example, the population of Ghana, which is a country that they expanded into maybe like 2 years ago. They've been working. So the Ghana population is 33 mil as of 2023. Jamaica is like just under 3 mil, so that's 10x, over 10x, 10 times a larger population. And yes, the Ghana market is huge, and it's like, okay, SBL is like a small player compared to them. But I think that if they're able to, you don't even necessarily have to have, because it's such a large market, and there's also like a lot of, like the regulations in Ghana related to gambling aren't, I guess you say, aren't as strict related to Jamaica. I think there was even there was a tax that was possibly like, no, or maybe it was like one of the parties, or was it the prime minister or something? I don't know. So they say GhanaWeb.com says, I don't know if this is like our Honorable Cassiel Atto Forson, the new finance minister, has made it abundantly clear that the government, let me try zoom in its first budget in 2025 will scrap the betting tax. So they used to tax betting. I don't know how much percent, but they're now going to tax it. Because then how I say that is that, okay, if you win, when you win something, you maybe you have to pay 10%, 20%, 30%. I think in like the US, I think the tax is like really high. But that means that, a lot of the money that you win, you're not really getting. But now, there's not a tax. It's almost like the payout increase. I mean, maybe the players or the companies would like adjust it, but things like this, and even some like, I may be wrong, but I think the largest lotto company in Ghana is the government, or the government owns that company, I think.
Well, based on my research, in the betting tax in Ghana was introduced in 2023, and it's 10% withholding tax on all betting, gaming, lottery winnings, all of that.
So they just took it back then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the tax was automatically deducted at the point of payout. Yeah, it's only applied to the net winnings.
Government of Ghana gambling company. I feel like I think they have it somewhere. But yeah, essentially, market is huge. These guys know gambling. They run gambling in Jamaica. I mean, it's a different market, but I think that they will be able to push, they speak about pushing into it and stuff. And I think it's been maybe 2 years since they did.
It's been around 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll crack it this year. I don't know if they'll crack it next year, but they'll probably crack it within, I don't know, say maybe 5 years or so. And when they crack something like that, you can do the numbers. The amount of money they could make is crazy. And one of the other things that I do look at, this is a theory, they haven't said it. SVL for like gambling in Jamaica, it's like they get tech services from this there's a company that runs the tech that kind of runs like it's like lots of software.
Yeah.
And I think it's an American company.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, International Game Technology, IGT.com. They're actually listed. Yeah, so SPL in Jamaica, a lot of their gambling stuff is run through like this company's software. It's like a global company. And I guess it makes sense that they want to say, hey, this company, they know what they're doing. do a lot of stuff for lots of other companies. They like their product, it's reliable, blah blah blah. And so in Jamaica they use IGT software, but one of the things I said is that in Ghana they're not doing like a by themselves. It's like they're working with another company, and the SVL does the tech side. I think they're the technical service provider for the Ghana company. So if my understanding is right, they're almost doing what IGT does for them in Jamaica, in Ghana. I guess in addition to other things. So then I'm like, wait, so what if maybe, because I think Gary Peart, the chairman, he was saying some stuff on like an investor briefing about how they're gonna try to take certain things from Ghana and then apply it to the Jamaican market. So then I'm like, what if they were to, like, what if that software is running whatever amount of people, it's robust? What if we switch to using that software gradually instead of using IGT? And then they pay IGT like a lot of money, like, I may be wrong, but I think it was like all 2 billion or something. And I think SVL made like maybe 2 or 3 billion in profits. So what I remember is that when I had looked at it, it was like a pretty significant portion. I think the chairman even like mentioned it that, hey, it's a lot of money we pay for that service. Let me see how much they made. SVL made. Oh, this is a bit, but yeah. So that's some of the reasons why. I also even think that there could another thing that there could be a liquidity event if, say, like a larger gambling company, like an international gambling company, is like, hey, we would like to buy this company because you have, it's almost like a monopoly in terms of the gambling industry. So maybe we'd buy it too. So you could get a nice liquidity event. They buy it at a premium.
This is the SVL Ghana, or you're talking SVL in general?
I wasn't saying the Ghana part. I was saying the like SVL, like someone coming on the JSE and buying takeover bid for SVL at $100.
They'd have to buy what's the company that owns SVL now? It's a Trini company?
It's not. I think they're the largest shareholder, Zodiac. And then them and MJE, maybe. Yeah, Zodiac is 30%, MJE is 18% or 19%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they do no gambling. I'm hoping because I remember reading a Gleaner article on the partnership with, is it Game Park Limited, which is the Ghanaian.
Yeah, that's the company.
Gaming
that's
operator.
The company that work. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that, as you said, they're providing technical services. They provide management and so on. But the partnership is supposed to introduce a lot of SVL's popular games, like pick 4, pick 1, cash. Pick 1 is cashback. So yeah, and those kind of stuff. So Game Park, my understanding, there will be the local promoter, so they're facilitating like the rollout of those games, whereas they'd be leveraging SVL's lottery software and gaming platform and that kind of stuff. So that partnership should yield some. I haven't seen much yet. I actually do need to do a proper deep dive to see what's going on.
But
there.
Do you want to wait till it's seen though? What price will you be able to get it at? If it does come true,
no, you're right.
Start rolling in. It's like, do you want to be in before or?
Well, how's SVL now in terms of the profits? Because I remember SVL was trading at maybe $30, and now they're at what, 18, and I can't recall their profits doing that bad of a drop off. But I haven't looked at them in a while.
Let me see.
Oh, it was a decent drop off. Wow. Never mind. Yeah, there has been a decent little drop off in terms of profits. Well then, they made record-breaking profits in 2021. They're up 32%, up to 3 billion Jamaican, and then they fell off 2022 to 2.4 billion Jamaican. So far, and they fell off even further in 2024, down to 1.7 billion. So I don't know. I'm iffy about SVL. It wouldn't have been my first choice, but I see why you want to put it in your portfolio. But not necessarily my first choice. But you're right. The points you outlined are good points in terms of expansion plans. So I can't argue with those though. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. All right.
Yeah.
Two decent
So
companies, two main market companies too. No love for the junior market?
well, we'll see. Probably do. Yeah, probably do a junior market company. So let's see. How much have I?
You've invested a little over 20 mil.
Little. Yes, I put in, well, actually 25 mil, and I'm down, what, 14% because of the price I was buying at.
Now watch that, bro. From you send the queue up to that price, it's not going back down. People are gonna be like, who is buying up all these stuff?
So the next one, let's see. So the GKSVL. Let's do carb cement. Yeah, carb cement. It's just some carb cement. Carb cement, I don't know if people have really appreciated the possible, what would you say, the possible business and kind of money that they'll be able to throw out when their expansion plan finishes. I think the expansion plan, they're going to, what, is 30% more cement, and then there were also other stuff like they thought the process would be like a lot more efficient, and they could have some more cost savings and such. I think it was supposed to finish by June this year or so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be delayed or so, but possibly like this year. And when I look at a lot of the, I guess, infrastructure projects that the government has outlined, you know, whichever government it is, I guess, wins the election, they likely will still, you know, want to do some amount of upgrades. They've already have these upgrades that have been started, hotels being developed, all of that stuff. So I think there'll be a lot of demand for cement, and I think Carib Cement will be there to supply that demand. They already basically have their monopoly.
I mean, suppose they're not. Would that still be a bad thing for the stock? Suppose they're not there to supply all the needs of cement. So
you mean they can't supply enough?
No, not even that. Meaning them exiting. So recently, we dropped an episode on carb cement. It's carb cement takeover. Could carb cement be the next big buyout? Right. That was the title of that episode. So, and part of it we were discussing is the parent company Cemex wanting to maybe leave the region. They've been selling off assets in Damrep. In which other country was it again? In the Philippines, not just the Philippines. So there's somewhere here, yeah, in this region. I don't know if it's Guatemala. It's a G country, but still, you see them exiting certain regions, and you have to wonder, will they exit Jamaica? Now, based on just sheer speculation, do you really think that would affect the stock price that bad, or would it be a good thing?
As in, if someone announces they're going to buy them? Yeah, I think it'd be a good thing.
You think it'd be a good thing?
Yeah.
I agree.
I think they'd likely try to, because if they wanted
I think the prospect of the sale of carb cement is also a reason for me to buy that company. Whereas in a portfolio of 100 mil, definitely I would be thinking about buying up carb cement.
Because if they want to delist it, they would need 80%. Well, to go over the 80% threshold. So if that shareholder chose to sell, how much percent is that?
You're gone far about the delisting thing, but fair. I was just thinking even just buying up a majority stake from the top
wouldn't actually
3.
Need that much to, you wouldn't even actually need that much to delist it, you know, because on like they own 79%. So based on the rules, if they...
You mean top 3 own 79%?
Yeah, which is the cement manufacturer you said.
Yeah.
Cemex. But yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I mean the possibility of them being bought, and then, you know, if it was at a price, at a premium to the market price, we're at the time of recording, price is $83. You know, what if they're like, hey, we're gonna want to buy this company for $100, $120, you know, $150, $200, you know. I think that the market would love that.
Yeah.
So, and then people would rush the shares. And
we haven't even seen the increased revenues based on the expansion plans that they're talking about. But if you do projections based on increased revenues being up 30%, their net profit margin, I'd have to do some calculations, but that trickles down to more profits if they're producing that much more and their margins stay the same.
Their margins could end up improving in some ways though, because they spoke about I think the machines being like more efficient and stuff. So it could be that they're spending less on lights, water, or they're able to like put out more output with the same. So it could be even a bit more than that, not straight like that. But yeah, so I'm seeing in the queue now I can buy 15 mil, so I'll buy 15 mil, and I'm sending it to buying it up to $92, but I'll be, what's this, 88, basically $89.
Would be average price.
Yeah, or yeah, just under 90. So yeah, I'm gonna.
So it'll be about 90 when you include fees.
Let's see. So how much money do I have left? Damn, I still have like 60 mil left. Damn. So I have GK, Carb Cement, SVL. So okay, next one now.
Wait, does Carb Cement pay dividends?
Yeah, I think it's like 2% or so.
You realize we haven't been calculating dividends on a lot of these.
You can just do it at the end. Just do it at the end.
Yeah. At the end, we should definitely see just how much money you'd be earning in dividends per annum. Just guesstimate.
So the next one will be Dolphin Cove. Yeah, next one actually be Dolphin Cove, you know.
Really?
You're surprised?
Let's just see how many units you can get in. Dolphin Cove, yes, if I was doing it my method, but doing it your method, buying it straight from the queue, well, let's see.
Yeah, I figure you'll probably be able to get. But I mean, Dolphin Cove, I think the market is a bit, I guess, scared because and rightfully, I mean, there are reasons why, you know, there is uncertainty there. The parent company that owns Dolphin Cove essentially went bankrupt, and they are going to be like restructuring their debt and such. And because, you know, there's that uncertainty, they're like, hey, what's going to happen? What if there's a new owner? What if the new owner wants to delist the company? What if they, you know, do all kind of stuff? So there is a lot of, I guess, uncertainty there. Price has dropped a bit. It was like $20 at a time. And it hit as low as like $12 or something. So it dropped like 40% or so. And
I feel like it dropped a bit more, but yeah.
Yeah. But it dropped a, you know, significant dip. But I mean, even though some of those things are warranted, I still think that Dolphin Cove has a lot of hidden value. They have some properties that they've been speaking about selling. I mean, if they really needed money and the parent company needed money, they could just sell the property, pay a special dividend. If you do the maths on some of that, it's quite a significant dividend they could be paying.
Can you imagine them paying like a 20% dividend or even more?
So Dolphin Cove in the queue, you can actually get units. I'll buy 15 mil of Dolphin Cove, buying it at $20, $20.65. Yeah, so Dolphin Cove, so deduct that from my balance. How many we got now? Like 4?
Yeah, 4.
And how much money I have left? 44 mil. Okay, so
why does this look so stressful?
Next one, I would do.
Yes.
I would do Dolla Financial.
Dolla makes sense right now too. Dolla's been sliding. Wow.
Yep, Dolla Financial. I mean, they took on the microfinance. You have really crazy margins at microfinance. They are one of the largest in the space. I expect some acquisitions over the next few years. I think there'll be a lot of consolidation. Like bigger companies will be buying up the smaller companies because of like the change in like regulations. I also think that the fact that like Dolla is one of the few microfinance companies that is listed, that's like a powerful thing. Because when you're listed, you have certain like credibility and access to certain people. They have Mayberry as their advisor. Mayberry cares about the share price.
Mayberry as their capital backer as well.
And Maybe I
And
think cares about the
also,
share price.
they're not just in micro, they're doing private credit as well with Ultra. So,
Yeah.
and those margins are also ridiculous. So I think, Dollar is definitely a company I like. And I see a lot of funds would probably also like them too, because they deal with a lot of cash. The business model is straightforward, and you can get units. You can actually get units. How much are you buying this up to?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Let's see.
I would probably set. I would send this. I would send this up to at least three. Well, broke. The breaker goes up to 343, 345. We'll chip it.
Yeah. So I'd buy, what's this, $12 million at 322. So I'm buying, once again above the market because, how we're setting this up. How much money is that left? No. 32 mil.
$32 million left. See, with Dollar makes sense, especially because of the dividends they would also be paying too. And the prospect of even listing
Not just even
Ultra.
thinking I think that the dividends are gonna ease off for now. I think the spin-off part is the interesting part, because I'm wondering how could they, if they were to spin off the company you mentioned, Ultra that does that private credit, and essentially what they would do is, okay, Dollar is listed, you can buy shares in Dollar, but Dollar owns Ultra. We will have an IPO for Ultra, and you could actually buy shares in Ultra directly. So Dollar would own Ultra shares, which are listed, on the stock exchange. So you could, depending on how they do that, essentially they could give you like a shareholder benefit. They could say, hey, if you're a Dollar shareholder, for every $10 shares, you get 1 share of Ultra. So if you had, as we said, this amount of money in Dollar, you get X amount of shares. So I think something like that would be very...
Or if you're a Dollar shareholder, they could do it a bit. That's very optimistic, but I think they do it a bit more like just a discount in the offer. So once you're a Dollar shareholder, I don't think you'd have to have any specific amount of units. You know, I think so. You think they would do it where you earn a share in Ultra based on being a Dollar shareholder?
Yeah, they could.
But then how does that give funds to either company? Because when you think about it,
you can do both. You do both. Do it like Lumbo. Didn't Lumbo do that same thing?
You could do both, I guess.
And you issue shares, create shares, you sell the shares. So if someone wanted, I don't know, like, they could do both.
You could do both. Not as well, I don't know if they would do both though. Because when you think about it, they really just want the capital. Like me spinning off Ultra would have to benefit either Ultra significantly.
Who is they?
True.
Who is they?
Now you're asking real questions, because that is really and truly Mayberry.
The shareholders.
Yes, the shareholders.
If the majority shareholders want what they want, they can do what they want. So,
but when you preempt it, when you think about it, what would they want? What have they been doing recently? They've been trying to secure a lot of funds for Dollar, and by extension Ultra, by doing the bond that they did recently, the previous bonds too. They're listing it, all of these things they've been doing to secure a lot of cash, because they are limited by the amount of cash you have. Like if you've unlent all your cash, or you have no more cash, like in order to grow to the next stage, and if you have that much demand, you need more cash. So at that point, and granted, listing Ultra, spinning off Ultra, I don't think they would sell more than 20% of the company. I think they'd leave it at minimum that they need to sell to be listed on the market. So I would think they would just keep it at that 20%. But I think they would sell the 20% stake, or I'd create shares. Either way, I don't think it would be as beautiful and as wonderful as if you have, like a 10-to-1 kind of, for every 10 shares of Dollar you have, then you get 1 share. That's ideal. And we as shareholders would want that. But I don't necessarily think Mayberry them want that, because they already own most of the company. They would already own that 80% would still be owned by Dollar of Ultra. So at that point, it's not as much benefit to them as collecting cash for the other 20% that they're selling to the general public, etc. So I think they'd probably just do a discount.
Well, we'll see, bro.
We'll see. Either way, either one has a positive effect on Dollar share price. So we'll see. We'll see. But you said they would ease up the dividends. Why? Because they've been paying such consistent dividends. Why do you think dividends?
When I say ease up, I don't mean that you're gonna see, you'd probably at least see 2 a year. I just think the amount that the company is gonna be paying out as a dividend is gonna be less versus the amount of, like, they'd rather, instead of paying out the dividend, they'd use more of that money to like lend to other people to get more money.
Why now as opposed to before?
I
Because
think
they've always been limited by cash.
so the initial largest shareholder when the company listed was First Rock Private Equity,
Mm-hmm.
and they have been progressively selling their stake. In up to September 2022, they owned 60% of the company, which was worth 3.9 billion. And now, over the time, they have gradually been selling shares, and I think that they needed the cash. So now that they no longer are the largest shareholder, if other large shareholders say, hey, we think it's best that a company, we can get cash from other places, we think it's best for the stock price, that you just unlend the money. So that's my theory.
Okay, I think it's a solid theory, especially now that they've taken on more debt in the form of issuing like the bond. So they have this debt that they need to pay back, and I think the what's the interest rate, like up to 14% or something like that, from what I
On the
remember.
bond?
On the bond, yeah.
I don't think it's probably 10%.
I'm pretty sure
or
it's
10
higher than
points.
10%. I'm almost sure it's higher than 10%. So instead of paying out that as the dividend, they have interest expenses. So sorry. They have still getting over a flu, but they have expenses that they need to cover, loans that they need to pay back. So
12%.
12%. I know it was greater than 10.
I think it's 12. But anyway, so yeah, Dollar.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be interesting. I also want to see what they're gonna do. The junior market limit is supposed to, well, actually, should technically be raised now or in the process of being raised. But the most a company can raise before this proposed increase was 500 million to list on the junior market. And in a junior market, you get, you'd have to pay corporate tax. You have to pay 100% for the first 5 years. You only pay half for the next 5 years. So you get that 10-year reduction in the amount of taxes that you would pay. You could raise 500 million, but now the government has said, hey, we want to increase it to 750. And I think that, Dollar, for example, depending on if it's Dollar could raise more money through our equity raise, and even Ultra could now raise more money. So I think that could be something that Ultra was waiting on. Hey, we want to get this sorted out, and then once it's sorted out, they say, hey, time to IPO. I don't know. We will see. I think it will likely happen within, I don't know, next few years. I'd say like next 3-5 years. I can't tell you when, but it'll likely happen eventually. Cause you even think about it, Dollar eventually will lose its tax break because they listed 2022.
Well, you see the prospectus there, and I'll scroll down.
2022,
yeah.
So if they listed 2022, then
in 2 more years,
2032,
start paying tax. No, well, half tax.
I'm saying 2032, all their tax is gone. All their tax break is gone. So if Ultra, for example, wasn't listed by that point, then they could just say, hey, let's list Ultra, this big segment of our business. Ultra is taking up a greater and greater percentage of the business, and this business segment will now get a tax break. They could do something like that. So then Ultra, a portion of your business will then get an additional portion of tax. And what if that then is the majority of your profits, then like 50% or something?
You mean so like what extra... Ultra is right now to them? Because I believe that maybe not necessarily the majority of their profits, but their margins on
it's a
Ultra.
Big deal.
Yeah, it's actually huge. Now, we've noticed the trend of companies doing something like that. Not even just the 10-year mark, but at the 5-year mark where they have to start paying back half of the corporate income tax, so 12.5% or something like that. Yeah, look at Mailpack doing this big acquisition because now they have to pay that tax. Look at Fontana buying Monarch Pharmacy, right? Mailpack, My Cars Express. And those are at the 5-year marks for a lot of those companies. Yeah, 5. Fontana is a little bit more than 5. And about 6, but still, I think by 2027 we'll say ultra listed. We'll definitely say ultra listed. I give them 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, guess we'll see.
Close to summer of 2 years, it will get done. You heard it here first on the Limitless podcast.
But yeah, that was Dollar. How much more money is left?
I was about to say not much. It's still a lot. It's millions. 32 mil.
32 mil. Okay.
You look like you're struggling.
I'd buy some Wigton.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, let me see.
Your portfolio and mine are extremely similar.
Let's see.
I would definitely be buying Wigton too.
To make it hard, we should say, yo, you can't pick the same ones I pick. Oh yeah, you can get units. You can get 13 million up to $1.29. Let's see. How much money did I say I had left before this again?
Like 32 mil.
Okay, good too. Yeah, so I'll buy 13 mil of Wigton at $1.29. I mean, for Wigton, they've been limited for like a long time. They couldn't, even if they wanted to, sell more energy to JPS. The government, the regulation said, hey, you can't. The government said, hey, we'd like some people to, I guess, bid to be able to produce 50 megawatts. Wigton before was like 60. So it was like an 80% increase. Wigton 1, they're going to be building out a solar farm in, is it Clarendon? It's Clarendon, I think. But essentially, they're going to be able to make a lot more revenues, but a lot more profits. I think the project will likely either finish probably next year, maybe 2026. And also there's going to be another bid that's supposed to happen. Something else that I found interesting, I don't know if you noticed, there was an article, and I'm wondering if the government increased the amount of energy they were planning to ask for. Because at one point I was seeing...
I saw that article too.
Yeah. So there was an Observer article. This came up March 18th, 2025. Jamaica making progress in meeting 50% renewable energy target. And there was a mention somewhere of 220. Let's see, where is it? So I think it was 220 I saw. Yeah, so I said in November 2024, the GPE awarded 100 megawatts. And as we said, Wigton got half for the solars. Another company called Sunterra, owned by a guy, I think he was a previous CEO of like JPS, but don't quote me. But so they're saying, hey, we did the 50 megawatts or the 100 megawatts. Wigton got 50, Sunterra got 50. And then as they say here, an additional 220 megawatts of utility scale renewables with storage will be competitively procured in 2025.
Yeah.
And then there was an article up to...
Yeah, we were talking about that in the group.
Yeah, up to... Yeah, see, there's... Oh no, go to the source. So the GPE, the government's actual website, on April 22, 2024, said that another request for a proposal of a further 168 megawatts will be launched in the new financial year, which begins on April 1. So that would have been April 2024. So it's almost a year, and the bid hasn't been launched yet. This is saying 168 megawatts. So I don't know if it's that instead of 168, the GPE said, hey, we need to actually ask for more. They haven't put it on their website yet.
Yeah.
So maybe you can go dig in some more. But I'm like, wow, that means you're saying Wigton could possibly even win way more if they're competitive again. And I'm thinking that, hey, the reaction. So they have this project that they already won, which the market I don't think has really seen and priced in and stuff like that. And then they have this other project that they could win. And then, as I said, apparently it may be increased. I guess we'll see when the GPE officially says it. So that's another huge project for them, another big win. It trades a lot, so you can get, and then there's other things. I mean, they could even, like, for example, expand outside of Jamaica. I do see them kind of mentioning like an equity raise, and I've heard like APO, so still gonna be wary of that. But
yeah, because they still need capital to be able to pull this off.
Wait, did I already? How much did I buy? How much money I have left? So I have 18. Oh wow, 18 mil. Okay, let's do another one. I would do Scotia. Yeah, that's the Scotia.
Okay.
Yeah. So Scotiabank, I mean, they are, one of the largest banks is in Jamaica is really them, and I guess the Caribbean too is really them and NCB. They have, I think, they've been like stealing a lot of market share from a lot of other banks.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of have cracked the banking code. Yes, people complain about the fees and whatnot; they're expensive, but they're still either the largest or the second largest bank in Jamaica. And I don't think that's really going to change anytime soon. Posting like record profits, I think the size that they are at, like they can start to do well. They've been doing things like pretty efficient, especially when you reach like a certain scale. It's like you can get certain cost savings and such. And there could even be the possibility that the parent company could one day even sell to another bank or something more. So there's that. Once again, there's that liquidity event you have to think about. They pay, I guess, what regular dividends and such. I don't think the yield is that high, but it's still something. And units, you can buy units in a queue. I am gonna buy. Let's see, how much is this? I'm gonna buy 16 mil of Scotiabank at 62.
Okay.
So how much money is that left?
Yeah, they have maybe about 2 mil.
So little. Oh yeah, 2 mil. Oh wow.
You see, the companies I really would want in a in a fund like this, you can't get units like that from the queue. Because even with this 2 mil, when you look on a company like the JSE itself, I've been looking at JSE and there's just not a lot of units out there. Well, in the queue, that is. There are a lot of units out there, obviously, but like not necessarily in the queue itself. So
yeah.
Oh, you're looking at a separate company.
Yeah, ISP is probably very illiquid, right? How much I said? 2 mil? Okay, so I'll buy. Oh, but the thing is, this can't trade. It's
Yeah, it
on the
wouldn't
red
trade.
band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted something like I really could probably just buy more of something else though.
Why
Necessarily
not
have to
buy
be another
JSE?
one.
You wouldn't put JSE in your portfolio?
Not that I wouldn't, but I think I don't know if you can get units.
Well, they only have
like
2 mil
that.
left. That is the issue with the JSE. I agree in terms of the stock on the market, but you could get 2 mil in. I see you're not
Yes,
buying
okay.
Transjam.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it. No. If the offer for sale, I guess I'd come out at the time. Then yeah, maybe. But for this, let's see. Yeah, okay. I'll buy. How much I buy it at? 13. Well, like $14 or so. Yeah, so that's everything. Let me check the percentages, I guess, after this. Oh, this is damn. So yeah, there's a lot of stocks, but yeah, I mean, you reach a certain level. So what's my heaviest holding? So the heaviest holding is actually Scotia. Okay, that's what 16.8%.
Yeah.
I wish you could sort by the heaviest to the lowest. Then the next heaviest is Carib Cement. That's at 15.8%. Then next is SVL, 14.3%. Then D Cove at 14.32. Then Wigton at 14%. And then Dolla at 11.4%, GK at 11.2%, and then JSE at 2.2%. So yeah. Oh, I actually have 35K left. Yeah, and I'm down. Damn, I'm down 11. Basically, I'm down 12%.
The price you have to pay for buying directly on the market, but you're already, when you think about it, you're already removing supply. So a lot of those sell orders in the queue would have probably been like, large blocks that you'd have removed. So you could expect the price to increase after you buy.
The dividend thing actually came out, like it. I think I guess there's a Scotia dividend that you could still buy to qualify based on the amount that I'd get $100,000 post tax. Damn, that's actually crazy. And I'd get 39,000 for the dollar dividend. Damn, how much money is it I have? I have
in Scotia?
260. Hold on, this is saying so little. Damn, I have about I put 16.5 million, and then I get a 100K. Oh, I mean, I guess I'm buying at 62. So yeah, but yeah, that is the my first go at the $100 million portfolio. You said you're gonna do yours now, I guess.
No, I think I'll save that for another episode. Where I do mine for another episode because I don't think I'll be doing it like you. I'm gonna change it up a little bit, but it's a cool concept because you have to be thinking about a lot of different things, and I think I'll tie those other risk management things into the next episode that we do. Guys, if you want to see another episode of us doing something like this, let us know. Like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, which stocks would you put in your $100 million portfolio if you were a fund manager, or if this was your personal funds and you actually do have $100 million?
And why?
And why? Yeah,
The
we'd
why
like to
is-
know your thought. Yeah, the why is crucial. But yeah, I think I'll do it a bit differently. I wouldn't necessarily use the Q itself because that makes it a lot more technical.
Yeah.
Like a lot more technical. But I see why you did it, and it's pretty cool that My Money JA shows you that feature where you can just say, all right, if I want this, just like I'll buy it up to whatever price, right? And just and you can see the tradable band and so on. I think that's a pretty cool feature of My Money JA. So use 5%, use code Limitless and get 5% off My Money JA whenever you use it, and it would greatly help us out and help out the channel. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for being here. We love you. Remember, if you love us back, just hit that subscribe button. And thank you. Limitless out.
Peace.